What's going on, guys? This is Damien from the Lookout and welcome to the French Regionals full breakdown. The Toulouse regional event just took place last weekend and we have top 16 deck lists for you. We have info on everything that was played, or at least the majority of things that were played at this event. So we're just gonna jump straight into it. This was a huge live event. But before we begin, we have three big news this time, like no longer two. Oh my god, Damien, what's happening? Let me tell you what's happening. First off, huge shout out to our patrons. The coffee club is going strong. Shout out to Bryce, Adnan, Jakub, Frank, Nave and Ryan K, our patrons who support us and buy us coffee and new tables to flip. Thanks guys so much. Guys, if you wish to support us this way, it really helps us out a lot. Link to the Patreon is in the description below. Second, we are hosting an online Xenoverse event. Yes, here is the info. It's somewhere here. It's gonna be on our Discord. It's gonna be a global event on the 27th of May. Go check it out. It's free entry, no prizes, fun tournament. So last thing that we need to do is just to, inform you to share the video, hit those like and subscribe buttons, help us grow. We are on our way to 3,000 subs and maybe we can get there by the end of BT21 spoiler season. I doubt it, but maybe we can, we will see. Now, roll the video. As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown, or in this case, general info. This event was organized by premier event company Occitanie. I probably butchered it. My French is non-existent, but yeah, I'm sorry if I butchered it. Congratulations to the TOs. I was told that the event went flawlessly, that like this was really a high level live event in terms of organization, in terms of competitive play. It's great to see such live events in Europe. Huge shout out to the TOs, to the judge staff, to everyone who worked at the event. It was awesome. From what I was told, it was awesome. 124 players live event in France. 124. These are amazing numbers for Europe. It's so cool to see huge European live events. It's so cool to see them. Best of 1 pre-side plus best of 3 top 4 top cut. And finally, congrats to everyone who participated in the event, who worked on the event. You all are awesome and I hope that you all had a great time. Let's jump into the top 16. Here is the top 16. We will have deck lists. Don't turn off the video. I need to say this immediately because I know how it is with these things from time to time. Anyway, top 16 from the event. Congratulations to everyone who topped the event. First place, Android 21. This is the first time, I believe, that we are seeing Android 21 win a non-NA event, because Android 21 is usually, garbage tier outside of NA. It barely ever tops, and this time it won, so that's interesting to see. But it's important to note that second place was Gamma, and Android 21 played versus Gamma in the finals, and Gamma is Android 21's best matchup, because it provides Android 21 with all of the necessary energy for her to cheat in things. So we need to keep that in consideration. Third place, my personal favorite, Golden Frieza. It's great to see Golden Frieza topping once again. He's been replaced a bit by Majin Vegeta, but it's always cool to see this deck top. Fourth place, Janemba. So last time we saw Janemba top was in Oceania, the one that we streamed and covered. Then the latest Oceania event, I think, also had 2 Janembas or something, but not in the top cut. And now in the top cut, once again, there is a Janemba. And I think there was also one in NA. I'm not sure. What I'm trying to get here, where I'm trying to go with this is, we're seeing a lot more Janemba. So not in huge numbers, but in good placings. So that's something to keep in mind. Janemba is slowly but surely creeping its way into the top cut. Slowly but surely into the meta. Janemba players know that, like, okay, there is something here. And I think everyone else looking at this by now is like, there is something weird going on. So yeah, congratulations to the player, and we might see Janemba being the next best blue deck. That's gonna be cool. 5th place Gogeta GT, 6th place Green Cooler, my deck. Green Cooler, I mean not my deck, but the deck that I play, taking 6th place. Congratulations to the pilot. I know that playing green at events is an uphill battle that costs you literal lifespan per game. So congratulations on, playing green and topping with it. Congrats. 7th place Red Sin, 8th place Majin Vegeta, along with Golden Frieza. This is the best yellow deck in the game. 9th place Android 21. Then we have 3 Gogetas, 10th, 11th and 12th place. 3 Gogetas. 13th place Expert Android 21. I hate this deck so much, but it's extremely strong. It is stronger than the BT20 Android 21. It's stronger by far, but it's not as easy to pilot. So those players who really know how to pilot this deck can just steal games. Those who don't, they can break a lot of times. It's one of those decks which is super annoying to play against, but it has a very high skill ceiling, so you won't be seeing a lot of them at events, but there are chances that the ones that you see are really played by pilots who expertly know how to play it, and then you're just getting ruffle stomped. 14th place Gamma, and finally 15th and 16th place Red Sin. So this was the top 16. Congrats to everyone. Let's check out all of the leaders from the event. Okay guys, now we have all of the leaders from the event. I might be missing some, not sure, haven't really counted this, but I think that I'm missing like 3 or 4 or something like that. Anyway, don't calculate, don't show how bad I am at math. 124 decks in total. Highest representation is in red. Red Sin 21 and 13 Gogetas. Red once again overwhelmingly dominant at the event, and the highest number of top 16 decks were red. So yeah. Then we have Gamma at 12, Golden Frieza at 11, only one managing to top out of 11. That's not a good sign for Golden Frieza, to be honest. 10 Androids 21, one taking the event and another one topping. 7 Trunks Getas, not a single one topping the event. 7 Majin Vegetas, one of them topping. And then 5 Cumbers and 5 HEX, none of them topping. So yeah, this is basically like all of the leaders in higher number than 5. The remaining ones are 4 Expert Android 21s, one of them topping, 3 Cooler Mills, 3 Vegetos BT2, 2 Apecus, 2 Android 13s, 2 Pans, 2 Janembas, one of them topping, and there were also Green Cooler there, which topped, SS3 Bardock, Vegeta Starter Deck 15, I'm not sure which Vegeta this is, I think this is the red one with Spirit Boost, if I'm correct, and a Supreme Kai of Time. And like I said, I'm probably missing a few decks here and there, but none of these in higher numbers. So it's just like those, like one of something. I think I'm missing a couple of them. Red once again is in the highest number, followed by yellow and blue, while black and green are just being themselves, as usual. So yeah, these are all of the decks from the event. Let's dive into the deck lists. Okay guys, here we are with the top 16 deck lists. We are on Top Deck Diffusion, link is in the description below, you can find all of these deck lists there. Starting with first place, Android 21. Yeah, it has some cool spice in it. It's running one copy of this Krillin, which I believe says when you have a multicolored card in your energy, when you combo with him, he gains plus 5k combo power. I believe that's what it does. It is in French here, so I'm not super sure about that. Other than that, it's also running a single copy of the green Android 21. You don't really see these ones, but this just tells you that it's a deck that's going very hard on clone tokens and ramping from your opponent's energy. But it's also one of those that's then easier to counter with Koitsukai and Black Messiah because it's playing so many clone tokens. Looking at the side deck, everything else is pretty standard here. And the other thing is Baby Hatch. You don't see Baby Hatch that often anymore. That's always cool to see. It's usually the Android 21 SCR. I'm wondering, is this because the player didn't have the Android 21, or is it just because he chose to play more defensively? But just, okay, I'm gonna play Hatch instead. Then we have the second place Gamma. Main deck pretty standard. Nothing surprising in the main deck. It has this cool Absolute Confidence, and it has this amazing negate. Guys, this negate is phenomenal against Majin Vegeta and against Gogeta. Just play this. Hell, I would even play it against Sin. Just killer 4-drop. This is for the main board. The big interesting one is this. This person knows something that we don't. And he's playing Android 13 Total Annihilator in the side deck. Okay? Like, I'm genuinely confused. I know, like, yeah, you have these guys, so you can play him through Activate Main, but it's not something that I would expect in, like, a billion years. Now let's go to third place, Golden Frieza. Quickly checking it. Everything here is standard. It is a standard Golden Frieza list. Let's check out it's playing Cooler. Cooler is now your go-to SCR when you're playing Golden Frieza because he effectively costs free energy. Looking at the sideboard, it's pretty much standard as well. So this is just your normal build of Golden Frieza. A whole bunch of value, and then you play the Cooler SCR, and then you're just gonna win the game. Then we have Janemba. I don't know much about Janemba. I know a bit more after doing a deck profile on it. But yeah, here is the list, guys. It's playing this Goku and Hit. It's playing the Checkland, basically. There is also like this Bojack. Bojack the Pirate with, I don't know its full name, like counter attack, I believe. I have no idea what this card does. If you cannot read it here, it's in French, so I'm sorry, I can't tell you what it does. And yeah, this is the sideboard. I think the Janemba players will understand what's happening here, because I don't understand at all. Then fifth place, Gogeta. Looking at it very briefly, it's pretty standard. It has some blue hate here. In red, it's the Oppressor. I am bringing it up. Yeah, in this card, it's playing a Topo, 3 copies of Topo. That's always cool to see. Other than that, there are like 3 copies of this Broly, which just makes this deck even more stupid. Going into the side deck, everything is pretty much the same here. Then we are going into 6th place, Cooler, Green Cooler. Congratulations, like this is my deck, this is what I play. Well, this one is, I think this is a pretty standard list, except it's playing the Evil Saiyans SCR, which you never really see in a in a green Cooler list. You never really see this one, so this is a nice surprise. He's also main decking 2 of the Gohans. I'm playing them inside, or I'm thinking just cutting them out. I don't know how useful they are anymore, but if you're playing if you're expecting a heavy yellow matchup with a bunch of like Gohan unisons, then it's a cool card to have. It's certainly an aggressive build of Cooler, and in the sideboard there's nothing that really stands out. 2 copies of Bigamore because you literally can't survive without this card in the current metagame. Then let's go into 7th place, Red Sin. So just checking. It's a pretty standard red aggro build. It's mainboarding 2 of these dispos, which is interesting. But other than that, everything else here is pretty standard. Same goes for the sideboard as well. Yeah, 4 Gohans here. Then we are going into Majin Vegeta. Checking, it's once again a pretty standard list of Majin Vegeta. So yeah, let me just check. Am I missed? No, here are the newest ones. Yeah, here are the newest ones. I would maybe bump this up to 4. It depends on what are you planning on running in, because for example, if you're running into green, I mean, you're not gonna run into green, but if you're running, let's theoretically, into green, they just need to KO like D6 guys and you can't awaken anymore until you fall to 4, I believe. Side deck, pretty standard. Oh yeah, there's also the Z card. Disregard what I said about awakening. Anyway, don't completely disregard it, but keep it in mind. Then 9th place, another Android 21. I'm sorry, I'm rambling so much. This one is a more standard list. The only thing that I see here popping up is really 2 copies of the Pseudo Super Combo. It is the SCR that you would expect this deck to run. And even the sideboard is pretty standard. The only thing that's really popping up here for me is this Great Saiyaman, because I do not expect to see this in this matchup, and the King Vegeta Unison. This is the barrier removal guy, but you would never really expect this one. I think a lot of people even forgot that this one ever existed. Then we have 10th place, Bruno Milano with his Gogeta. It's completely standard list with, you know, the typical sideboard. It's playing this one in sideboard. That's also cool to see. Indomitable Might doesn't see as much play, but it's always cool to see it. It's always, you know, here and there in Gogeta sideboards. Then we have Caleb's 11th place Gogeta, main decking Pilaf Missile. That's interesting. Main decking Pilaf Missile, Beerus Ball, and the Nappa. Okay, this is interesting to see. Main decking Nappa. Okay, yeah, I can get behind this. Like you pressure your opponent down to 1 life and then you just pay 4, slap the Nappa in. That's awesome. The sideboard is, I would say, pretty standard, except it has this Piccolo, which can basically deal damage if he fails to attack, I believe. It's in French, I can't remember what the card exactly does. Then 12th place, another Gogeta, this one playing the Kaba card, and other than it's playing 3 copies of Begrudging Allies. What the hell is happening here? 3 copies of Begrudging Allies, and this triple flash. So completely low. And these guys, what? What the hell is happening here? I think this is one of the spiciest Gogeta lists that I have ever seen, man. Like, what the hell? 3 copies and then 3, and what the hell is happening here? Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, very interesting Gogeta build. Definitely very interesting Gogeta build. 13th place, Expert 21. I don't know much about this deck. I only know that I hate it. I absolutely hate this deck. This shouldn't exist in the game. But I remember not seeing this Gohan every time I played against it. So let's say Gohan here is interesting. I'm not sure what this guy also does. The side deck, I believe it is pretty standard, except it has like this Dragon Slaying Bullet, and only one of these. Okay, that's interesting. Plus someone actually sided against green. Congratulations. I thought that no one sides anymore against green. That's cool to see. 14th place, Jacopo Toros Gamma. It is a standard Gamma list. The pretty expected side, except like, no, he's playing 3 copies of this one. I told you, keep an eye out on this one. Kamehameha Deflection is phenomenal. And 2 copies of Tapion Unison. That's very interesting to see. And this is Desperate Measures. Yeah, Desperate Measures, just alternate art. Congrats, Jacopo. 15th place, a Red Sin. Red Sin, mono red, playing Nepa. So I guess that Nepa is popular in France. So yeah, very interesting to see Nepa seeing so much play lately. Other than that, sideboard is pretty standard. And finally, 16th place, Zundus. This is Zundu from the 3rd place at the World Championship. This is his Sin deck, and from what I am seeing, it's pretty standard. It's running 2 of the dispos. The spicy thing here is Princess Deadpool. This is the spicy thing here. Main decking Max Power Kamehameha. That's interesting. In the sideboard, we also have Ultimate Dragon Quake, and we have another Princess Deadpool. So yeah, this is an interesting build as well. It has some spicy choices. And that concludes the deck list, guys. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this meta, on this tournament? I'm interested to hearing your thoughts. I think that it's still pretty much the same as we have been seeing for the last month and a half now. But there are some interesting outliers here, like Janemba appearing in the top 16 once again. That's pretty interesting to see. Cooler finally topping another event. That's always awesome. And yeah, 124 players in Europe live event. That's pretty crazy. Speaking of French events, we are live streaming one of them this weekend. I'm putting it like here. So we'll also heavily advertise it today on Facebook and our social media. So don't forget to go and check that one out. It's going to be live streamed in English by me and my co-host Peter Dance. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the current meta? I read all of your comments, I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And before you leave, hit those like and subscribe buttons, share the video, and maybe we can somehow get to 3,000 subs by the end of the BT21 spoiler season. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.